Come on. Come on, YouTube. There it is. All right, come on, YouTube. Let's go. Let's do it. Let me get my bread. There it is. All right. Come on, YouTube. Come on. let me go advertise real quick. Hello, hello, hello. Once again, no thumbnail, because why would we have that? But, you know, it's fine. Hello, hello, hello. Alright, let me go shout this out on my Discord and all that good stuff. Everyone streaming again. There we go. Alright. So we're back. If you were not here for the last stream that happened yesterday, last night, we colored 2 of our witches. We have a clown witch all colored and we have bird witch all colored, but we got 4 more we gotta color. So that's what I'm gonna try and finish all 4 of them tonight. Wish me luck, here we go, so I can put them up for adoption as soon as possible. Because I would love to be able to put them up before I leave on, like, to go home for Thanksgiving, and then that way I can say the auction will end when I get home. So, with that being said, we're gonna have a party. As always, we're going to, you are free to ask questions, you're free to chat, you're free to, try and ask me something that'll make me go on a tangent. Whatever all questions are available for right now. But, and of course, if I, miss your question, it's not because I don't like you, it's just because I might get super focused for a second and miss a question. So I apologize in advance for that. So, yeah, we're gonna have a fucking party. And like I said, I posted a thing for this on the community tab, but I just want to make sure that everyone heard it. I did say on the community tab, I woke up at like 1:40 this morning. Not this morning, this afternoon. So I've only been like awake for like 6 hours as of now. So that's why there's not going to be a character review stream. I just have way too much art stuff to do. And things like that. So I apologize if anyone was looking forward to that. I will try to do one before I leave on my trip. Emphasis on try. So I'll probably try to do it on Friday if I get a chance, and if not, I'm just gonna have to. You won't probably see another one till Christmas or December. I mean Christmas season, holiday season. You know, I'm tired. So. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna get right to it. So we have a cotton candy clown witch, all good, and we have sassy birdman, all good. But we got 4 more to do. So do we do death witch? Do we do nature witch? Do we do ironic witch? Or do we do Mitchie's spider witch, whom she's already bought already? So, which means I do have a color palette for her that I'm going off of. So, what shall we do, oh chat of mine? Himbo. Spider, himbo, spider. Himbo. Himbo. Ah, spider, spider, himbo. Oh man, it's really close. Himbo, spider, spider, spooter. Himbo. Man, y'all really torn. Spider. I think I'm seeing a bit more spider. I think. It's so hard, I gotta get the... Alright, I think I'm seeing more spider, even with the duplicates. So, we'll do spooter, I think. We'll go ahead with spooter, and we'll do spooter. So, spooter it is. Here we go, everybody. Is my stylus out of battery? Are you kidding me? I just sat down to do this, and my stylus decided to run out of battery. Well, I guess we're just gonna sit here for like a minute, so it can charge a little bit. So like I said, you all are free to ask questions and things. I'll do my best to answer them during the stream and stuff like that. And if I miss a question, you are free to ask it again. Just try not to spam, please. Like, for example, if you ask it and I don't respond to it in 30 seconds, don't ask it again. You know, just be reasonable. No, I'm not using my fingers. You fool. How dare you suggest such a thing? Well, I guess I could use my finger to at least put the base thing down. I guess I'll do that. The chat has spoken, but the stylist had other plans. Who is that? So what do you do when you're on art block? I just, like, art block's difficult because there's like two different kinds of art block. One of them you solve by taking a break from drawing, and then the other one you solve by forcing yourself to keep drawing. And you can never know which one you're having at that moment. So I honestly, for me personally, when I have an art block going on, it's usually just going to have to be a mixture of like figuring out what's better for you. Like, do you need to take a break from drawing? Do you need to force yourself to keep drawing? I've already fucked this up. So I would try those, and if one of them's not working, try the other one. You know, it's just that's a part of being an artist, and sometimes you just have to deal with it. Oh my goodness. Good way to make a character palette. Depends on what character you're making. I think I said this in the last stream, I think. But, depends on what kind of character you're making and what kind of, like, world you're going for, what fits the character, what fits the world, kind of a thing. So, that just depends on what kind of character you're going for, honestly. How do you draw a woman with muscles? Like any other body type, if you need, like, references, use references, you know what I mean? They're not... You know what? Fucking... You know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna clear that out in a minute, because I can't tell the difference between what is and isn't that stupid webbing stuff, so we're gonna just erase that manually. Because it's being a bitch. So... Oh my goodness, so many questions! Do you think you're gonna do another thing like you did with the harpies and mermaids for the other species? Like the thing where you show off all the subspecies and info? Yeah, that's coming. Just you wait. I'm doing the nymphs next. I needed to start working on their gods. I'm gonna do the nymphs, then I'm gonna do the trolls, and then I'm gonna do, go back to, like, the bats and the spiders and the snakes and do those. And then I got some other things I need to do. Opinions on Long Furby, all hail Long Furby. Questions. Are you happy about Procreate 5? I have the beta version, and Photoshop brushes can be imported. I don't know if I've tried Procreate 5 beta. I've just been using Procreate, so... do you have a specific category of characters you like designing? Do characters you like designing most have similar aesthetics? Not really. I think the only thing I could say that for sure I seem to have an affinity to draw is just, like, sassy men, if that makes sense. I don't know why. I just, like... But honestly, every time I, like, say, oh yeah, that's the character type I like to do, I go back and I look at all my characters and I'm like, no, there just seems to be about the same amount of those as there are of every other character I draw. So, like, I don't even think there's really a type of character I design more than others. I think sometimes personalities can be reoccurring for me, but not so much, like, designs, you know what I mean? I think my designs are pretty just whatever I'm feeling at the moment, kind of a thing. So I don't know if there's, like, a set design that I really do more often than other ones. So okay, now we're gonna get into it. Now the stylus has charged enough for right now, so off we go. Do I like purple? I like purple. I'm most excited about the snakes. Yeah, the snakes are fun. What type of brush do you hate? I mean, I don't think there's a type of brush that I hate, because it's not really about what the brush is, it's how you use the brush. So, I don't really think there's any brush, like, in itself that I hate, like, every single time. It's just more how people use, I mean, because people can use an airbrush badly, you know what I mean? So, it's more about who's using the brush and how they use it as opposed to what the brush actually is, you know what I mean? Do 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 do. Is ketchup a sauce? I mean, yeah, I guess. What brushes do you use for line art? I use the technical pencil brush for my normal line art. I'll use like other brushes sometimes depending on what I'm doing, but typically it's my my good old technical pencil. Let's see, let's get you. You're gonna be like really pale. That's what's happening right now. But maybe your skin should be like a little bit. Yeah, let's make your skin a little bit more flesh colored. All right. Let's see. There's like a lot of. Let me get a color palette real quick because Mitchie wants me to base this off of this spider here. So let me get like some colors off of here to go off of. We need like whites. There's like that brownish color. There's like this bluish, greenish color in here. Get this like slightly lighter. Let's make it like a little bit warmer, just to go with the fact that that kind of is like browny. I like brownish. Yeah, I think we'll go off of that. Color palettes are important. Any tips on light for drawing? Light sources are your friends. Like figuring out where your light source is will help you greatly. Typically, especially for scene drawing, I mean, typically if you're doing like a very idle looking picture where there's not really like any kind of background or environment to think of, you can get away with doing that kind of like general ambient sort of lighting. But if you really want to invoke the sense of like an environment or a like something like that, then not only thinking about the direction of your light, but also thinking about the colors of your light is very important. Like for example, which I don't think a lot of people think about as much when they're drawing. For example, like if you're doing somebody outside in the sunlight, you know, you don't just want to think about like the sun coming from over here. You want to think about the fact that the sun is, you know, it's yellow. It's going to be a yellowish color to it. I mean, on the contrary, oftentimes at sunset, that color might get to be a little bit more of an orange type color and come from a lower direction. If you wanted to do, oh shit, I drew that on the ref layer. Shit. But you know, and then in other terms, you know, maybe they're in a place where the color lighting is like blue or like a bluish color, or even maybe like if you wanted, like we were talking about how green's a good lighting color for villains and for bad scenes, then you want to think about like the lighting color being brown. And the reason why is because not only is that going to affect what color lighting you use, but it's also going to depend, kind of like affect how your color, like how your shadows look. So like having, because typically you're not going to have one light source. Typically you're going to have a couple different light sources, you know what I mean? So figuring out what colors you want your lighting and your shading to be is extremely helpful, extremely important. Because if you have a yellow light color, for example, having just a dark yellow color underneath it is not usually going to look as appealing as, say, maybe having the shading undertones be red, or even like I like doing a lot like purple undertones, or even kind of like on the bluer scale of things. So thinking about color, like the colors of your lighting and stuff like that, can help you a lot and just make your lighting pop a lot more and look more appealing. I think that's something that people don't talk about a lot, is that your lighting and shading colors can be very, very important. Sorry, I've lost my entire place now. Her back scratcher's just very badly made prosthetic limbs. Oh my lord. They're limb extensions, I'd like to say. Let's do... I'm just a sucker for like the insides of things being different than the outside. Should I do blue? I'll do blue. Why not? If I don't like it, I'll change it. Well, another thing too, just while we're talking about lighting, I guess, another thing that I think a lot of people don't think about this, but whenever I kind of like figured it out for lighting, it's helped me so much. When you're doing a scene, for example, when you're doing a scene and you want that like really dramatic kind of lighting going on, I don't know if I'm going to be able to represent this correctly, but say you have a character, because I have to show this. So like say you have a character right here, and we're gonna just have this character, and this is like this is our friend. His name is Warm Boy Wilson is his name. Warm Boy Wilson, and he's all like, just all of his colors are super warm colors. You know what I mean? He's got like, normal human skin tone. He wears like colors like red. Everyone say hi to Warm Boy Wilson for me, please. He's got colors like red. His pants are orange, all of that stuff. But say Warm Boy Wilson is gonna be in a scene where his colors are, let me put him on a different layer. Hang on. Shit, I put Warm Boy Wilson on the wrong layer. So let's say though, Warm Boy Wilson is going to be in a scene where things are extremely dramatic, and we're going to give him like some blue undertones. So he's going to have like some blue shading going on here. He's going to have like blue here, and he's got all this blue shading going on. And then his lighting is going to be like super blue, like he's gonna have that's the wrong layer setting, and he's gonna have like some blue lighting going on. You can see right now that those colors on his warm palette don't look super appealing, just because the blue and the blue do not really complement the reds and the oranges as well. So when you're faced in a predicament like this, where you want these colors very strongly, what I recommend is going over, after you've colored and done all your flat colors, is to go over the layer in a different shade. Like, for example, like a desaturated or even a strong blue or something like that, and then play around with your layer settings a little bit. And the reason why is because when you tint the colors a little bit more, this is so hard because I don't have time to like properly play around with this. When you have a chance to, and you play around with those colors, you can suddenly make the colors a lot more complementary to, I typically will do it with a multiply layer, and you can see a very immediate difference between those colors and how they look now. And obviously in this sort of case, because the color is on multiply and it gets darker, you just have to start adding some more effect layers and start adding some more layers of lighting on top of it. But now, because our Warm Boy Wilson has some a different color underneath him, those colors are going to sort of blend better with this color palette. And that's like, this is a really like shoddy 10-second example, so it doesn't look as appealing as like I could show you if I did this in like a full tutorial kind of way. But stuff like that can help a lot. So if you have a character with a lot of like warm colors and things like that, but you want to put them in a darker setting, where there's more, you know, cooler colors, then you simply have to just play around with making, with like putting an effect layer over them first. And so you can kind of tint their colors out a little bit. You can kind of tweak their colors. You can play with like hue or saturation even, you know, depending what you're going for here. And you can just play around with that, change the colors out, and then when you do your layers on top of that for shading, so like now like this, and then you do like a dark blue, and you shade them here. Now those colors look a little nicer because they just go a little bit better with each other. And it's something I wanted to talk about more in depth for a long time, but doing stuff like this is because I've noticed this because of the fact that when I do line art, because I do line art on like a multiply layer, sometimes those desaturated reds and those desaturated like warm colors don't look good on cool colors. So sometimes that's why I'll go back and I'll make that line art like more of a bluish tint or a more purplish tint. That still doesn't look like super fantastic, but again, I don't have like a lot of time to really dive into it and really show exactly what I mean, but hopefully that kind of makes sense. And what you can even do, like if it's not working like this, is just put it on a normal layer and just like tint it out a little bit, or just fade it out, or whatever you want to do. But I hope that does help a little bit, just to make more sense. It's just to play around with putting the entire scene in a palette that would better reflect those kinds of shading, you know what I mean? So I hope that made some semblance of sense to help somebody, just because that's something like, I'd say thank you to Warm by Wilson for making a cameo. But yeah, so that's my advice for that, as I find that helps quite a lot, to be honest, is having that effect going on, and, you know, just it helps. Now we gotta go back into the thick of it. Back to our lady, to our lass, to our spider witch lass. Let's do some kind of like fades going on here, so she's a little less plain, or a little less plain dress. Nope, that's the wrong texture I was thinking of. Give her some pretty sparkly effects. Oh, she's already sold. Whoever was asking how much she is, she's already been given to my friend. And none of these are going to be buyable until I put them up for auction on DeviantArt. So I appreciate the interest, but Spider Witch has already been sold to my friend. That's why I have this reference up here, is because I told her if she paid me a certain amount, I would let her have control over what colors I give her. So what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that right there? Excuse me. Excuse me. iPad, what the fuck is going on right there? What the hell? Do the others have set prices? No, they don't. I'm sorry. They're gonna be for auction. Just because I want to try doing an auction with them. I don't know if I'll have an auto bid price. I might, but it would probably be pretty expensive. And again, like I said, they're not going to be buyable until I put them up for auction, just because I want to try that, and I don't want them all being sold right like before I can even post them publicly. But you know, so yeah, I was gonna say words and I forgot what words I was trying to say, but I am gonna have like a special prices where it's like if you buy them for this much, you're gonna get like something extra, like maybe an extra doodle of them or something like that, and we'll see what happens whenever I get there. If the auctions don't really go as well as I'd like them to, I might start doing like the future ones for these at a set price, and then like in that case they would probably go on Patreon first. Or if they do well, I might put them on Patreon first and say like, hey, if you want to auto bid them, you can, but we'll see what happens. It's all experimentation right now. It's all experimentation right now. Spider Witch. Here she is. Looking very spidery. Maybe she needs like a darker... I don't know if she needs a darker color. Let's do... Let me think about this. Make these like a grayer color. Have I ever seen Batman the Animated Series? I have not. I don't really watch a lot of cartoons and stuff much anymore. It's kind of sad. I don't like, with cartoons and stuff, they're just shows where I feel like I need to sit down and pay attention to them, but I don't have a lot of time to do that anymore. Because I usually want to multitask, so... What is my favorite Greek god? I mean, I am a fan of Apollo, to be honest. Apollo and Artemis are fun. Can't ever forget my boy Hades, but you know. She's gonna have probably like one of the simpler color palettes going on here. This may sound weird, I think, but you're an artist who inspired me to continue creating my story. Oh, that's not weird at all, and thank you. I'm very flattered. I'm glad the stuff I do can inspire other people to work on their own stuff and come up with their own fun stuff and things like that. Colors are going. I'm not giving her green eyes, I'm giving her blue eyes because that's the color palette I've been given over here, so. Whether you're right or wrong, she's getting the color palette that was requested of me, so. Yes, and should I put the green in somewhere else? I could. could put just a little bit. No. Nah, you know what? I think she looks nice like this. I don't think she needs the green anywhere else. But I do need to fix this fucking line art. That's what I need to do. Oh, I need to give her the choker. Damn it. Then I'll fix the fucking line art. There we go. There we go. Alright, now I need to... Why does that look so dark? I don't know. Okay. Now we need to give her some... There we go. We need to tone down her fucking line art a little bit. Put a little bit more back into her face. So she still looks like she has skin. And that she has blood in her veins. Even if that's not true. And then I need to do, what I want to do is put some of that white back in here. Or at least try to. On these spider webs. Okay. A lot of blood. Her webs are strong. Her dress is sick. I remember the fucking Gerbalife ads. Every time I hear one again, I get like immediate flashbacks. It's like just those few things in life where it's like you hear them and then you're like sent back to when you were 5. Or in my case, like those Gerbalife, I swear those Gerbalife commercials went for like decades, it feels like. For just pennies a day. My God, yeah, it's just one of those. Because it's like, it's not even the fact that it was like around, like it's still around, you know, Gerber Life is, I think, still a thing, but it's like, the reason why it's so wild is because they played the exact same commercial with no changes or updates for so long. So it's like, you know, it's just the same commercial. So it becomes like ingrained in your memory. And then you can't forget it no matter how hard you try. Because it's like, you know, with like a lot of other companies, you know, you'll usually change it up every now and then, make something new, make something fresh, and then put it out there. And then like, no, Gerber Life is like, no, we got one, it's fine, there's no changes we need to make, so just play the same one over and over and over and again. And so then it's like generations of children are gonna like grow up and never be able to forget for just pennies a day. And it's like, you know, it just be like that sometimes, you know? It's the same thing. It's that, and then also in my mind, every now and again, you'll just hear in the echoes in the back of my mind, like 800-588 326 something Empire, and I'm like, why is that in my head? Where did that come from? What like dark depths of hell has this appeared out of? I don't fucking know. I don't like that. I don't like it. It's a bit too much. It's a bit too much. Let's do it. Let's just go over it. Let's just bite the bullet and go over this shit. Oh, goodness. Alright, there we go. And hang on, give me a second. I need to check something. I know, there's just like all that sort of shit. Sorry, 1 second, guys. Alright, sorry about that. Alright, oh, y'all just going down memory lane right now. Let's just call this stream the not sponsored stream, honestly. Alright, like I said before, just because in case there's anyone new in the stream, you're free to ask, like, questions and stuff like that. Serious, jokey, whatever. Won't guarantee I can answer immediately because I am drawing, so I might be more focused on that sometimes. But you are free to ask if you feel like it, if you feel inclined to. Quick art life hack?